Okay, so I just wanted to do a quick video today, purely to show the armature of the fabulous Mr. Foxy. I know the armatures in general can cause not trouble, but a bit of effort, let's say, to actually work them through. So I thought it would be worth me coming on and at least just taking us through the armature as it's designed by the kit for the fabulous Mr. Foxy. If you're interested in other different ways of doing armatures, Joe and I, when we did our felting fun with Steph and Joe on YouTube, on the Crafty Kit Company YouTube channel, I'll put a link to that below here when I post this in the Craft Your Way to Happiness group. We talk about a lot of different ways of actually doing the armatures, but today we're just going to go through the armature as it's designed to complete this kit. Okay, so I am going to just go through the instructions so as not to lose anybody. Right, so firstly what I did do was I highlighted down the different pieces that I needed to cut. So in section 2, I need to cut a 38cm piece for the main back, an 18cm piece, which is going to be the rib cage, 20cm piece, which is going to be the blades, shoulder blades at the front, and a 30cm piece, which is the back legs. So I've marked those. That's in set 2, 3, 4, and 5. I like to do that up front. Okay, so I have got my 38cm piece. I've got my 18cm piece, I've got my 20cm piece, and I've got my 30cm piece. Okay, now let's just move those pieces to the top. I've also cut one of the pipe cleaners in half because I use the pipe cleaners to join them. I do a little bit of twisting to join the pieces together, but I use pipe cleaners to keep them nice and secure. So I've just cut, I might need to do another one in half, but I've cut one in half ready. So firstly, the first piece, the 38cm piece. Now we are, of course, following this diagram, which brilliantly shows us all of the dimensions. So you've got 10cm for the head, 15.5cm for the backbone, and then 13cm for the tail, 12cm for the rib cage. For the shoulder blades, we've got 4.5 either side, and for the back leg, we've got 11.5cm. So to start with, because this diagram shows me that at 10cm, I'm going to do a lot of joining, and if I add 10 to 15.5, I've got 25.5cm there. I'll join the back legs. So I mark on my piece of wire that that's where that's happening, okay, before I even get going. So here on my piece of wire, I've marked 10cm and 25.5cm because that's it. I know I'm actually going to be joining there. So the first thing that we do is we create the shape. You know, it doesn't have to be perfectly like it is on the diagram, but just so that we've got our basic curves where they need to be, down to there, and then we've got our tail. Okay, right. So then you've got, as you can see, not overly perfectionist in my getting that exactly the same as it shows in the diagram, but that's close enough jazz. Okay, so that was number 2. Number 3, we then take our 18cm piece of wire, and this is the bit that we're actually going to attach where we marked the 10cm there, and then it attaches above where the back legs are going to go. Now I will once again mark because it's 12cm, which is in the center, which means I've got 3cm either side, and I'm just gonna mark that. Ooh. 3cm either side, just so that I've got a pretty good idea how much I'm going to be wrapping around and how much I need to actually have left. So let's do that bit. So once again, if you look at our diagram and it shows us this is how it's going to be. So I'm just going to do a basic, there we go. Okay, so I know I need to attach that there. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my pipe cleaner ready, because these are my two major connection points. Obviously, I will be attaching the chest down there as well, but at the moment I'm going to put a pipe cleaner here, because this is where I know I'm going to have to join my bit. So there you go. I start by just wrapping the pipe cleaner around where that join is. And then I get my piece and I wrap that round where that pipe cleaner is. There we go. Lovely. Okay, so that's joined, and that pipe cleaner is just going to give it a bit, stop it from traveling up and down. Okay, and I will use it to attach it even more securely, but at the moment it's just nicely holding it. I'm not, if I hadn't done that, this would be traveling up and down and I'd probably be getting annoyed. It doesn't take much to annoy me. Okay, so now I'm going to put this down here. I know it joins where that mark is, and I'm just going to wrap it around there. Now, there we go. Just leave that. And I can adjust the shape as I want. And this will move a little bit because I've not anchored it down with a pipe cleaner yet. And I can do later. And as I move this about, that can move up and down. And to be honest, that's not a bad thing, because you can change your mind as you're creating it. Okay, so we've anchored at the top with our pipe cleaner, wrapped it around, good to go, wrap down there. What's the next stage? Next stage is create the shoulder blades. Okay, so we go to our picture 4, and that's our second piece, which is our 20 centimetre. We fold the wire so that the two ends meet in the middle. We twist each half, leaving a loop at the end, and attach to the blades, to the spine with the tape. Well, with me, it's not the tape, it's with the pipe cleaner, because I'm attaching it once again at that place. That's those shoulder blades. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so looking at picture 4. Okay, so I need to fold that to the center, fold that to the center, twiddle it around each other, so I've got a nice little loop at the end, and then I'm going to attach that to the shoulder blades, but I'm going to do it with my pipe cleaner bit. Okay, right, so here we go. So here's first thing I do is I want to mark where my center is. There you go. That's where I'm going to the center there, facing up. Yeah, and then I can fold that over, put that down, fold that over, put that down, and then twiddle it. Well, in fact, what I'm going to do is actually wrap that around. My fingers aren't brilliant these days, and that's the easiest way for me, is to actually wrap it rather than twist it from the end. If I had, I could attach 2 sets of pliers and just twist it at the end, but we're going to do it this way. Okay, so I've got the shoulder blades, and then if I need to, I could twist that a bit more to make it the same as that side. Okay, shoulder blades done. I now need to attach those to here. So I've hooked it over, and because I've got, let me hook this around so you can see this, because I've got this here, and I've got one end one side and one end, and this is over the top. Okay, I can move that one over there and this one over here, and I can lock it in place, because I'm then going to take that under there, okay, and that one which has come up there, I'm going to go around there. So I'm basically wrapping it around that joint, okay, and then I'm just going to go up that way, and then that one I'm going to bring it down. But basically, you know, there's no real technique other than I'm wrapping that round there so that it's locked. It's obviously still swinging backwards and forwards, but it's locked in place down there. It's not going anywhere. Okay, I'm just gonna push that down there, push that up there. Okay, so he's not going anywhere. He's attached. Lovely. Next, as the shoulder blades make the back legs. We've got our 30cm piece of wire. Wrap the wire around the base of the spine, tape it in place, and then form the shape of the thighs according to the diagram. Okay, so if we need to do that, let's fold it in half. Okay, let's find out where our halfway is. That's good. Brilliant. Boom. And so we attach it, and then we're gonna attach it here. So that is where I've already marked. I made my mark down there, which is underneath. I've got the ribs above, and then I've got my mark down there. Okay, so that's where I'm going to attach it. So let me just place it there so you can see. I'm going to put it over the top like that. So before I do that, I'm going to put my pipe cleaner in place, just like I did in the top bit. Okay, because what I don't want is I don't want it coming any further down here, okay? And what I do want is, once I put it on, is to then stop it moving up. So I've taken it from there down to there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this until it meets the bits that I've wrapped round for the chest, okay? Because then that's nicely anchored, isn't it? That's nicely anchored. That's not going anywhere. It's attached to there. And I've got my, I'm not going any further. My little mark, I can still see, is in there, okay? So I've got my end bit. I've got one little round, the wire, and then I'm going to place it on there. Okay, so on I go, place it there. And I'm going to do the same as I did with the, is it easier if I show it this way up? I don't know if it's easier anyway up actually on this. But basically, I'm just going to wrap around. I'm going to go round, under, round, under, round, so that it's completely attached. Okay, so I'm going over that corner. Then I'm going under, then I'm going over there, under, over there, over the top, and wrap round. And I really am just wrapping it so that it's not going up and down the spine. Obviously, it's swinging, and we will come to that in 1 second. Okay, so that's good. So we've got him in place. He's not going to move anywhere up and down there. All right. So now I need to stop him swinging so that we can do our shape. Okay. So I'm going to take another pipe cleaner, and I am actually going to snip that. There we go. Snip it a bit better, Steph. We'll get some better pliers. Okay, so he's swinging about, isn't he? Okay, so to stop him swinging about, I am going to cut. Let me take it underneath because I've got quite a bulk on top, haven't I? Will it make any difference? No, actually, I'll go on top. Go on top, and I'm going to basically go from top, go underneath there, from on top, go underneath there, and I am going to just wrap it down the leg, okay, like that. Wrap it down the leg. Same that side. Won't stop it moving. It will just hold it a bit more securely. So yeah, legs akimbo, but there you go. They're there. So now I can shape that leg. And in this diagram, it tells us that there's 11.5 centimeters going round and then the foot. Okay, so I'm just going to measure that. 11.5 centimeters. Or is that in total? That's a good point. Let's have a little look at the diagram. See, you got me thinking now. For the but no, it was 30 centimeters, wasn't it? So that's fine. Yeah, so 15. So that should be 3.5 at the end. 3.5 at the end. Yeah, that's good. 3.5 at the end, and then bend. Okay. 3.5 at the end, and bend, and do the bend for the rest. There you go. Okay, and we kind of have that shape, but what we do have also is very short arms. So this is the bit where we make the front legs, measure the distance from the loop of the shoulder blade to the floor or the table, cut this length of wire plus an additional 5 centimeters for the paw and joint. Thread this wire through the loop of the shoulder blade and wrap tape in place. Let's have a look at that picture. Oh, okay. So we're going to wrap it a little bit around there, take it down, okay, and have a loop. Right, so I'm going to measure from the squatty little arms up to there, and I've basically got about 11 centimeters. So I need to add 5. That's going to be 16 centimeters each side. So let me take my piece of wire, 16 centimeters. 16 centimeters to there. Okay. Lovely. Right, let's go to the picture again. So the picture of 6 shows that we basically wrap the wire through that loop and around the wire. So through that loop around there and down, and it sort of bends a little bit. Yeah, so we have the loop at the bottom. So I'm going to do a loop at the bottom. Loop at the bottom. Yeah, can you see that? Like that. I've just done what's an easy loop as opposed to any. Are they about the same? Oh, exactly the same. So how long is that? So that's about from the bottom of the loop to the top of the loop. That is 2. Well, oh, that's my cat just coming. There's 2.3, so 23 millimeters, if you want me to be exact, if you like exact measurements. So let me turn him round a minute so that he's facing me. And I've now got my 2 that I need to add. Let's twist him. He's a little bit twisted. Okay. Okay. Grand. And let's just put his little paw, so that I've just decided to put him so he's like that. So his little paw, there you go, knocking him over. All right, fella. Knock him over so that you've got slightly at an angle. Okay, and let's bend him over. because it was a bit more bent than that. Back to where he was, it is 11 centimeters. Okay, I mean, at this point, if you're worried about making this too short, then make it longer. You know, add another 10 centimeters onto it and attach that up, because the more you've attached up there, it doesn't matter. And then if you look at it and think, oh no, I need to make it a bit shorter, you can do. Okay, so don't get hung up on things like that. So I am now going to put that up and just turn it round a couple of times into that bit. There we go. And I think the way that goes is back and forwards, isn't it? Let's have a look at that picture again. Okay, so that goes kind of forward and then it kind of curves back a bit and then comes out. Okay, like that. Take the other one. There we go. Fit it. Once again, you are going to be bending this and adjusting this all over whilst you're doing it. So don't get too hung up about perfection in sizing, because you can adjust it. Okay, there we go. So I can adjust him a bit. So he is definitely a bit longer than the other one. Oh, and he's now come off. There you go. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my old trick of attaching with pipe cleaners. Okay. Why not? I've done it with everything else. Okay. So I am going to start with that round there. There we go. And I've left a bit of a gap where I'm going to swing it round and then go through the hoop. There we go. Go through the hoop. And then where I've gone round with my now we're going to take it all the way round those shoulder blades up to the top, because you know you're going to put pipe cleaners all over this anyway, so why not add to it now, and then when I get to the join, tie it off there. Okay, so there you go. Turn that round. Swing that back in. Okay, there we go. And the other one has kind of stayed, but I would do the same again around that one. I would wrap it all the way up. If it stayed pretty much in place, I would just wrap it all the way up. So now that you've got your basic shape, as I say, as you can see, he's not absolutely perfect. He doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. He's just there for your structure that you can build your fox around. You now take the rest of your pipe cleaners and wrap it all around those legs all the way up and all the joins. Make sure you're joining him nicely in place, and that will keep him super, super tight and in place. Okay, hope that helps. So that's doing the armature exactly for the kit as it's designed. If later you want to do or have a look at some different armatures, then as I say, by all means pop over to our Felting Fun with Steph and Joe on YouTube, and we talk about different ways of doing armatures, and you can always ask some more questions in the group, and we can point you in the direction of finding out different ways of doing it. Okay, so put all your questions below, let me know if this has been helpful or if you need more help. But hopefully that covers the majority of the questions about the armature. Okay, see you soon.